Good afternoon, my name's Chris Ogle. Is the growth news update for the 3rd of August, which is week 29. Now it's been a quieter week this week, events wise, just gone. Weather's been a bit worse, of course, now the kids are on holiday, but still lots going on in Link4Growth. So what happened last week? Well, on Monday there was no event. On Tuesday we had some training in London. On Wednesday we had the Great Dunmow and Spalding events, and Thursday there was nothing on, and Friday, being the first Friday of the month, we had the business luncheon, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but the luncheon in Rickmansworth. Okay, so last week a few less events than normal, but what we're following on from the district leaders event that we had the week before. Basically, Link4Growth is constantly evolving, and some new ideas and some new ways of looking at things. And one of the things that we've taken a close look at is the luncheon. And what we've decided to do with the luncheon is to make it a pay-as-you-go event, i.e. if you come along and you have a lunch, then you buy your own lunch. And we're going to focus the luncheons a little bit more on corporate social responsibility. So what we're going to do is encourage the people in the community, businesses in the community that have a more of a community or social agenda, to come along to those luncheons with third sector, that's charity type organisations, community organisations, and see if we can bring those two groups of people together. Now this initiative was actually initiated by the Richard Harrington, who's the MP for Watford, some time ago, where he held an event to bring the companies that had more of a community outlook together with charities. And the idea was that if there was a business which was a bit quiet and had some spare capacity, then they could perhaps provide something to the charity organisations, who very often aren't run that effectively, and kind of do some cross-fertilisation of skills and stuff like that. So the problem is with initiatives like that is that the people who start them, in this case the MP for Watford, he may not be in next time, he may not get voted in. So what happens to these initiatives is they have to be passed on to somebody in the community, otherwise they'll die on the vine. And the concept of the luncheon is a regular monthly event which will enable us to continue getting those businesses and the third sector charities together on a regular basis, and really start to implement some of those good ideas that people have come up with. Other things that are happening, we are following on from the DL hangout that we had. We kind of decided that the forums needed a bit of a change round, whereas at the moment we've got groups for the districts to kind of for people to engage in. We're going to actually make those into sub-forums of the Link4Growth area, so each district is going to have its own forum where things like the newsletters can be posted, and where we can kind of have a more localised discussion rather than having to be posted into the main forum. So we think that might help to give people another view of Link4Growth, because they can see what's happening in the local area, and the local people can talk to the local people there. So, and it's also available to people to see whether they are registered or not in Link4Growth, whereas the groups are only accessible to people who are actually in Link4Growth. So it will give us a little bit more of a capability to share that information with other people. The newsletters went out last week, so hopefully when we get these new forms implemented, we'll see the district leaders putting their newsletters in there, won't we, guys? Yeah. And actually on the 12th of August there'll be a national newsletter going out. Now I'm going to be writing that. That'll be the first time we've done a national newsletter, so quite looking forward to getting that out there, and that will go out to everybody so they can see what's going on from a national perspective on Link4Growth. Just a quick run through of what's happening with the Pinterest thing. We've got over 200 pins on there now, And essentially what it's done, what that Pinterest account is about kind of the essence of what Link4Growth is all about. So we've got stuff on there about nutrition, stuff on there about sustainability, we've got things on there about the planet, we've got all the regular stuff about Link4Growth as well. So and we've got things like wise words, which is good quotes and sayings that I come across. A whole raft of stuff on there, but stuff that's about Link4Growth, and again stuff that other people might want to share. Watch out for district people boards coming soon on there as well. It's a bit of a surprise, no one was expecting that, but I thought I'd just throw it in there. So that is something, as we grow it, that I'd like to introduce, because otherwise the gallery will just be too huge. Last week I mentioned the open source workshops. This week people have been asking me what's open source workshops actually mean, because open source in the traditional sense means that all the content and everything else would be available for anybody to pick up and reuse, etc., etc. Well, what we mean by open source workshops is that anyone can be the source of a workshop, i.e. if someone wants to do one, then they can. It's totally open, and those workshops will be offered through the Link4Growth network, and obviously all the marketing and everything else that will go with that is part of that deal, so we'll actually help promote it. The target is to have 1,000 different workshops covering almost every imaginable skill or skill really, I suppose, or piece of information over the next few years. So a huge undertaking, and we will actually have a Pinterest board which will have the workshops that we have, and with a page behind them that will allow people to find out a little bit more about what those workshops are intending to do. So that's all coming soon. Another thing that I've kind of brought out of my thought processes that I think is going to be quite interesting is a bit of fun, but with a bit more behind it than just a bit of fun, which is the capability for somebody in Link4Growth to offer something for free for anybody in a sort of kind of competition way once a month. Now I'm kicking it off, and I've got a bottle here which is full up with money. So what I'm going to do is it's going to be counted, and whoever gets nearest to the total that's there is going to win 50 quid. So I'm going to put that on the forum at some point soon, but it could be anything. So for example, let's say you're looking for a new slogan for your to go with your website. You could offer, like something that you could give away and invite people to come up with slogans, and you pick the best one, and whoever it is gets the prize. So lots of different things that could gel into, but I think it's quite a good idea. And anyway, I'm doing it this month, so let's see what happens. But only one vote per person. You've got to be in Link4Growth to do it. You've got to be a subscriber, so why not come and join the fun? Okay, so that's a little bit of some of the things that are happening. The third flyer that I keep telling you that I'm going to finish. Well, now we've sort of reorganised some of the events. I now feel that I'm in a position to put the final touches to that. So that third flyer is going to be imminent. Don't forget, we've got the new accountability program starting in September. I've got to publish when that is, and we've also got the LinkedIn, accelerated LinkedIn one. I've got to get that published as well, and also the digital strategy mentor program. All of those three are going to be starting in September. We'll soon have the Eventbrite link, so you can start to book into those, and yeah, that's going to be really exciting in September. Loads of stuff happening in September. Don't forget the Link4Growth sound bites. I've been playing catch up this week, trying to get all of those posted. I put Martin Deely's up, and I also put Steph's up somewhere, Steph Taylor, and what was the other one? Steve Lazarus as well, and I've got Margaret Gillen's to do as well. So if you do have something that you're very interested in, passionate about, and you want to share that with the rest of the community, please do get in touch. We've got James Randall, Nikki Pepper, Lisa Rumbelow, Chris Cornell, Peter Willett, Carol Mann. All these people have stepped up and said, look, I'd like to have one of these, so why not you? Okay, so contact me with your idea and let's make it happen. Okay, what's happening in the coming week? Monday we've got nothing going on. On Tuesday, rice slip, and in the evening, Hartford drinks. Wednesday we've got Child Friendly Boreham Wood, Waltham Abbey, Peterborough and Watford. On Thursday we've got Networking with Intent in Harrow. That's a workshop about how to network. You know, I've seen it's terrible out there, the way people, some people network. You know, if you spot someone that's not networking properly, get them along to one of our workshops, Networking with Intent. It will teach them how to go about networking much more effectively. And as well, on Thursday we've got the coffee at the Mercure in Watford, and Friday there is the event over in Ware, and I think that's the last one that we're going to be running at the Roebuck Hotel because they're pulling that down. But we do think we found another venue, so watch out for the announcements on that one. Okay, what's happening initiatives wise? What is Link4Growth? Okay, if you know someone and you want to introduce them to Link4Growth, but you're not quite sure how to go about that, if you type into Google audio boo, that's audio boo, all one word. What is Link4Growth? What you'll get is a link, which is a link about a 4-minute 37-second audio stream about me explaining what the essence really is of Link4Growth. So rather than try and work it out and tell people directly, just send them a link to that, because that will get the message over to them loud and clear. We also have PDFs which you can share with people if you'd like to just tell people what Link4Growth is and how they might like to get involved. Then just use these tools, because it's easier than trying to answer their questions yourselves. So do take advantage of that. I'm now populating the Link4Growth Buy Local Watford Google Plus community. I've put a few businesses on there. I put the word out that we've got this thing going on. Which is basically about promoting and showcasing local businesses so that people who are local can go and use those businesses. So that's starting to happen. I've also started to populate the Link4Growth, the L4G Watford community. I put some pictures up about Watford. Anything that's happening in Watford, I'm sticking it up there, so that and there's, I don't know, 24 or so people now in that community. And basically, the more that goes on, the more that's happening in those communities, the more people will come along and join them. So if you do want to see how they're panning out, go and check them. L4G Buy Local Watford and L4G Watford. Go and check them out, see what's happening there, and why not start to participate in your community locally, and kind of follow my lead, really. Still working on the Enterprise Rocker stuff. I've still got to build those communities as well. I've created a Link4Growth Watford tweeters list last week, and I've basically put a load of people that I've found that are tweeting who live in Watford. It's a public list. You can follow that list. It's especially useful if you're in Watford. And if you want to get in that list, then all you've got to do is drop me a note and tell me that you'd like to be in there. But it would be handy if you lived in Watford, because it is about people in Watford. A big well done to James Randall and Diane Oridopi this week, who've really started to get to grips with Twitter, LinkedIn, Hootsuite, and also Google Plus. A lot of things they've been doing, taking up some of the suggestions and recommendations that came out of the district leader hangout, and thanks to Nikki Pepper and Deepa Kotak, who have been tremendous in supporting those two as they've been picking up the skills. That's what you call teamwork. So that's it, really. Things are really buzzing at the moment in Link4Growth, and things are going to really hot up. So that's it. That's me done for this week. Thanks for watching and listening, and I will catch you all next week. Thanks now. Bye.